For buttons, we normally use shapes or the text tools or any drawings you have which we can convert into a button symbol. So far you know how to convert things into a movie clip symbol, which is modify and convert into a symbol. So similarly here, let's say if I have a simple rectangle with a different color and I draw on the stage, okay, now I can select this rectangular shape and you can go to the modify and there's a convert to symbol link. We can actually convert to symbol uh, and select the type of a symbol as button. Symbol name, maybe I'm using it for just a link dash btn. Now selected, nothing happens drastically on the stage. It just groups your shape into a solid symbol. Okay, you can check the library. The symbol will appear. This is the way it actually represents in the library your symbol, and on the stage it creates the instance of your symbol. Now I can delete this. No need to worry because actual symbol will record into the library of your file. So from the library, I can just drag and drop it and use it multiple times I want. So they will do the same actions, the same objective which we want to do. Now I'm going to create only one. When I test my movie, you can see the region of the whole rectangle converts into a hyperlink. So you will see the hand symbol. Okay. Now up to Flash CS3, CS2, when there was no ActionScript 3, ActionScript 2 you can only apply to buttons and frames in Flash. But from ActionScript 3, you can apply action scripts to movie clips and all those sorts of quite dynamic behaviors, which is possible nowadays. But when Flash was introduced, you can only apply programming actions to either buttons or frames. Okay, that's why buttons were quite popular in the past. But nevertheless, we can see the most other interesting things for the button. Right now, I haven't done anything. As long as there is a solid color, a solid shape, you can convert that into a symbol and the whole area becomes an active region of your button. Okay. Right now the button is not doing anything because we haven't edited the symbol. So if I just close the movie, that's my symbol on the stage. If I double click, you will see in the timeline breadcrumbs, it shows scene 1 where the button is. And right now we are inside the editing of link button. Okay. In the editing mode, the button becomes shape. But the interesting thing to look is here, it doesn't show you the full timeline the way it shows for movie clip or for your main scene. Because timeline for button actually has only 4 stages, which is up stage, over stage, down stage, and the hit stage. As a designer, you need to just know what these stages are. Okay. Now upstage, you can see the first keyframe is solid, which is actually containing the shape you have created by default. Now this is a stage you normally see first when you test your movie. Okay, like an active hyperlink. Over stage is you can actually insert a keyframe in this time frame slot, and you can do some effects. You can add some movie clips so that that stage will only appear in your tested movie when you move your cursor on the button. So on mouse over. Downstage also you can add a keyframe. Right now it is blank, but by adding a keyframe there, you can define when you actually hit the button what should happen. So you can resize it and show that it is squeezed. So when you actually press, you will see that animation happening. Okay. On mouse over, which is second stage, you can drag and drop the music, the audio. So when your mouse is over the button, you can actually hear that sound. Okay. And then the hit stage is, it is actually used to define the hit area of your button or a clickable area or clicking area. We can give it different names. Quite important stage, hit stage. It actually defines how much portion of this button should be actually clickable, actually actively clickable. If you don't mention anything in the hit stage, by default, it will keep the whole rectangle wherever the solid color is as your clicking area, as your hit area. But I can show you how we can change these all stages and how it actually functions. Now, up stage, the button is in the normal shape. Over stage, you can actually select the frame, right click, insert keyframe there, because without keyframe, it will not allow us to change anything on the stage. So on the over stage, I add the keyframe. By default, that's the up stage, that's the over stage. It selects the same shape, but here I'm changing the color of this stage. So what will happen is when I test my movie, that's the up stage and that's mouse over stage. Do you see a very small difference? But these two changes are happening because of up and over keyframes. Okay. Now the down keyframe, you can go there, insert keyframe for the down as well. It will select your normal shape. And here actually I'm just simply using free transform tool to give a bit of transformation of the shape. All I'm doing is simply resizing this shape to smaller size. Let's see what happens. When I test movie, that's up, over, and down. You see? Down means when your mouse is clicked without releasing it. That's how you create animated effect. And the last stage is nothing but the hit stage. On the hit stage again, I'm going to add a keyframe. And here, using rectangle tool, I'm using literally any color I want. And I'm going to mask a large rectangle on top of it. Okay, just to show you the difference of hit. Now when I do that and test the movie, first things to observe here, you don't see any shape you have created from the hit area. So hit actually creates an invisible region for you. Okay, but that region is useful is what is happening. My mouse is not even on the actual button in my tested movie, but still all this region around the shape actually becomes my clicking area, because that area I have defined in terms of solid color in my hit frame. So it's quite intelligent keyframe, which sometimes when you have a text, you don't want to show the solid shape of the text as a button, but you can just write a shape on it in a hit area. So it creates a nice invisible patch. Okay, or the other important use of a hit stage is, I'll just quickly show you. Let me just close this file. On the hit stage, let's say I have a new file, or let me open any of our files in the past we have done. Let's say a smiley face banner. We all know this file which we have created in our day one. Now I want to use this banner in the website, but I want to convert the whole banner as a hyperlinked flash file. Now instead of converting every single bits and pieces as a button, what you can do is add a new layer on top of it. Here, use a rectangle tool, draw a rectangle with any color you want, covering the whole stage. Okay, when you test it, obviously you're not going to see anything now because you're covering it with a solid color. But using selection, I can select that keyframe, which is a rectangle shape, modify it as convert to symbol, button, and when you test it, you can see the whole movie becomes a hyperlink now. Okay, the only stage left is now to drag this shape from up stage into the hit stage. Okay, so all I'm going to do here is double click on the button. I don't want to see anything in up, over, and down. Okay, so I can simply click and hold this keyframe, drag it into the hit area, and then we test movie. Now, do you see that? The whole movie is actually a hyperlink now because its button, which is on top of it, there is nothing in the visible stages, which are up, over, and down. Only the color, solid color, is present in the hit stage. So when you want to create animated visible buttons, make sure you play with up, over, and down stages as well as hit. But when you want to create just an invisible button, which you don't want to see, but the region becomes hyperlinked, then only draw the shape in hit area. Okay, that's pretty much a basic example of how buttons work.